Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. So we are now on day 16 of 30 Inks 30 Days. I thought about doing kind of a mid-month wrap-up or just a mid-month video, but I don't think I have enough to say about all of these inks. Are they all in the frame here? Yeah. So I just thought I'd point out a couple of things before we get started with today's ink. My favorite one so far is Baltimore Canyon Blue. So beautiful, beautiful blue, beautiful sheen, beautiful shading. Love it so much. Probably my biggest surprise was the Noodler's green. It's such a pretty color. It's just a really bright, happy green. It has really nice shading, but also when I write with it, it writes so smoothly. And it was so smooth that it stood out from the other inks. I mean, the other inks feel like ink, they're fine, but this one just felt so nice and smooth. And of course, the color and the shading on Habanero is stunning. I really like most of these inks. They're really fun, but definitely my favorite. And these two were very pleasant surprises. Okay, so let's move on to today's ink. We are going to be talking about 54th Massachusetts with this very patriotic label of the troops charging. It says, "Freedom forever and serfdom never." Ooh, and there's something written around the edge too. "I know no class of my fellow men, however lost, enlightened, and humane, which can be," ooh, can you guys see that? "which can be wisely and safely trusted absolutely with the liberties of any other class." Frederick Douglass. Father of, what does that say? Father of 2 sons in the 54th. Oh, so I guess the 54th is named after a, I don't know my military terms. The 54th Regiment? Let's see. Oh, and there's another quote on here. "Too many of our comrades' bones," oh, too many, like T-O-O. "Too many of our comrades' bones lie bleaching near the walls of Fort Wagner to subtract even 1 cent from our hard-earned pay." And that was said by James Henry Gooding, who was a soldier in Massachusetts 54th. All right. Yes, the Noodler's labels are very interesting, and they're all different. Okay, so I have swatched the ink on my calendar so far. It's a teeny bit damp, but it's mostly dry. It goes on kind of blue. It's a beautiful blue, and then it dries to a blue-gray. But I could tell the paper was not happy with this ink right from the beginning. And you can see on the other side here, it's starting to seep through. I mean, this ink is just, it is just a bull in a china shop. It is some serious ink. And I knew putting it in my TWSBI with the broad nib was going to be problematic, and it is, because it's just such a wet ink. I mean, this is the kind of ink that you want to have in like an extra fine pen that writes very dryly. Okay, so this is 54th Massachusetts. Okay, so I think this is dry enough for us to turn the page. So, and here is our little Antietam accident. I don't know if you saw on the video, but I was rewatching it, and I was holding my pen over the paper, and I could actually see a blob of ink jump out of the pen onto the page, and then when I swiped my hand across, that's when we got the smear. So very interesting. So Antietam just wanted to show off, I suppose. So this is for can I do a sideways 6? Yes, I can. And let's see. Oh, I think I have to sneeze. My allergies have just been driving me crazy. Now you see this ink as I'm scribbling on the paper here. It's a beautiful kind of teal, like a bluish teal. But when it dries, it looks much grayer. So this is 54th Massachusetts. And this is my TWSBI Go with a broad nib. And here is our water testing area. All right. I have to say this ink is pretty smelly. It smells very, very chemically, as a lot of the Noodler's inks do. So if you're sensitive to odors and you're interested in a Noodler's ink, I would definitely recommend getting a sample and trying it out and see if the smell bothers you before buying a whole bottle. The bottles are very large and very economical, but if an ink is just not acceptable to you, then there's, it's not a bargain. And I'm just getting ink everywhere. I was trying to wipe off the neck of the bottle, and I didn't realize that my little piece of tissue had fallen down in the bottle. So the poor tissue is soaked. Okay. So we're gonna, hang on paper, this is gonna be hard. I'm gonna try to swab quickly. Ooh, it's drying very interestingly. But yeah, it's that beautiful blue, and then it turns kind of gray. So it's such a cool ink. I just wish it wasn't so wet, so aggressive on paper. If any of you have any tricks for taming down the aggressiveness, please share. And again, I've talked before about maybe adding water to an ink to change different properties about it. So I wonder if adding a little bit of water to this would help it be less aggressive. Because I know this is going to be bleeding through to the other side. Shoot, I should have put a piece of paper behind this. Oh yeah, it's bleeding through. I need a piece of paper. I just keep using my little index cards for everything. So he'll be back there saving the pages from the bleed through of the 54th Massachusetts. Okay. Now, I think that's all I needed my Q-tip for. And now what are we doing? I think it's time for the water test. Do we think that has dried enough? I think it has dried. Let's see. Ooh, I gotta find a clean finger. That's the problem when you play with ink. All of your fingers get ink on them. Okay, I think it's dry. So here is our pipette. And I feel like I don't get the water in an area where there's enough ink. So hopefully I got this on areas that are inky enough. And I have a feeling I know how this result is going to turn out, but we're still going to do our test and see what happens. But I have to tell you, I knocked my phone off the kitchen counter, and it seemed, I was watching a video, and the video seemed to freeze. So at least it didn't fall off the kitchen counter into Gus's water bowl, which it has done before. So then I was getting set up to film, and the phone just shut off, and it came back on, and in the process, which took, less than 10 seconds, it lost about 30% of its battery. So I don't know. I think maybe my phone is on its last legs. Oh dear, I've been yakking away and I need to wipe the water off. So let's see what we got here. Okay, ignore the pink area. There's a teeny little bit of blue on there, just a teeny bit. And, there's a little bit of feathering, but honestly, I wonder if it was feathering from before. Because this line right here did not get any water on it, and it looks feathery. So I think all the feathering on the ends here is just from the ink acting on the paper. But in the middle of the cross hatching, where the water was, I don't think it moved at all. So the water lifted a teensy bit of ink onto the paper towel, but mostly it didn't move. So this is a mostly waterproof ink. Okay, now what are we doing? We are looking at our other notebooks. And Gus is telling me that he wants to go outside, but he just came in. So he's going to have to wait. Okay, here it is on my Midori MD paper. There's a little bit of shading. And again, it's a very nice blue-gray color. But it's very aggressive. And I'm going to look on the back and see if it bled through, but you guys can't see. No, it didn't. It's definitely shadowing, but it didn't bleed through. And I just have to show you again. Look at that Baltimore Canyon blue. Oh, isn't that the prettiest thing you ever saw in your life? I love it. So pretty. Okay. For those of you that don't like blue ink, I apologize, but I'm totally in love. Okay. So here is our, this is the Hobonichi notebook. And here's our quote of the day. Now, I was trying to write the date, and again, I got this big blob of ink on the 6th. And then I tried to very carefully siphon some of the ink off, and it smeared. So, not looking its best, but that's okay. And then again, this Tomoe River paper always shows off the qualities of an ink the best. So there is more shading on this paper. It's very pretty. It's such a pretty color, and I wish I could use it more, but it's just so aggressive that I don't have any paper that I can use it with reliably, you know, on a regular basis. So I just don't know what to do. But I have a giant bottle of it, so I will be wondering what to do with it for a very long time to come. Okay, I'm looking for my, looking for my card. I just dropped one on the floor. Okay. So, ooh, my notebook's making a shadow. All right, y'all gotta move. Okay, that's better. And we're gonna zoom in a little bit so we can see. Okay, so on the card, it is looking like a very nice blue-gray. So I pulled out some blue blacks, some blue grays, some grays, just to see what we've got. So let's start with the grays, which I definitely know are not going to match, but just kind of gives you a reference point. So these are gray. I've got Lamy Agate and Kaveco Smoky Gray. They're definitely gray and kind of on the lighter gray side. And then 54th Massachusetts, definitely blue. And here is Lexington Gray, 54th Massachusetts sibling. So also dark. They're both pretty dark colors, but again, definitely gray. And I pulled out motor oil, but that's just like a weird brown color, so no. So let me see. And for some reason, I have all of these multiples of swatch cards. There is Nemesine Pleiades Blue Black. And here is Nemesine Pleiades Blue Black. Now on this one, I did a drip, and there's a little hint of sheen on there. Now, I I bought this ink because it was on clearance on the Birmingham Pens website years ago. I didn't know anything about the company, nothing, but it was on clearance, so I had to buy it. Of course, it was on sale. And what was I going to say? Oh, Mountain of Ink. She has a listing of the best sheening inks. And this ink on her website, she says, is one of the best sheeners. I think she said it sheens in all nib sizes. So I need to use it more because it's a really pretty blue-black. Okay, so yet again, here I have Evening Sapphire, Robert Oster Evening Sapphire, which is kind of a soft bluish gray, but this is looking more teal next to that color. But then again, I've got a duplicate here. And where's the other one? I know it's here. Uh-oh. Well, oh no. There it is. His duplicate is already on top of him. And who else do we have here? Let me see. Oh, Robert Oster Great Southern Ocean. Now, actually, the tealy blue is looking pretty close. And again, I have another one of these cards. I don't know. I think this one's better because it shows off the ink a little better. This one is like all sheen, which is very nice. And I like this ink very much. So this was looking bluer next to some of the other inks. And next to this one, it's looking grayer because I guess this one's a little bluer. Very interesting stuff. Who else do we have here? I was thinking this would be a soft blue, like 54th Massachusetts soft blue, but definitely not in the ballpark. And the same with Waterman Mysterious Blue. It's just too soft and too light. That sure is a pretty color, though. I need to use that one more often. I don't think I've had this one in a pen. So I definitely need to get him in a pen. Look at that. It's like blue and green and all kinds of interesting things going on in there. So pretty. Let me see. Here is Sailor Shikiori Shimoyo. And they're all similar, but not the same. Here is Pelican Edelstein Tanzanite, which is looking very much like Great Southern Ocean, except I think this is a little more purple and this is a little more teal. But I don't think either one of those is a good match for 54th Massachusetts. So just for fun, I pulled out Abalone, which is kind of a blue-gray, but much less saturated. And this has all kinds of purples and greens and stuff going on in there. Oh, such a pretty color. Oh, my shipment from Germany. Wherefore art thou, my shipment from Germany? All right, here is Pilot Arushizuku Shinkai, which again is looking closer. Let me see. And here is Lamy Crystal Benito White. Now they're kind of looking very similar to each other. Kind of a blue-gray leaning towards purple. But I really don't have anything that matches the 54th Massachusetts. It's kind of a blue-gray teal. It's a very interesting color and such a pretty color. So anyway, that is all for today. So, oh, I put the bottle back in the box. So here is our bottle, and here is our pen. So I hope you enjoyed this today, and if you have any tips about using 54th Massachusetts, please share. I would like to use this ink more, but it is just aggressive. It is an aggressive ink. So I will see you again soon, hopefully tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.